Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a long time since I've posted a video. It's been over a year now and quite a bit has changed. My hair has gotten significantly longer. I've dyed it once again. So there is a reason that I decided to come back, make videos, and it's because I have been watching a lot of videos of twin pregnancies and day-to-day life routines of twins, and that is because I am expecting twin boys. So I'm gonna give a little rundown of pretty much to where I'm at now in my pregnancy from what I haven't filmed, from finding out that I'm having twins, how I've been feeling, and yeah, so we'll pretty much just get right into it. So right from the get-go, I found out really early that I was having a baby. I think it was about 3 weeks. I took a pregnancy test and it came up very positive. The lines are very prominent, which is like sometimes common, but typically that early on, it's usually pretty faint because your hormone levels aren't super strong, but it was a very positive line. So it was not a planned pregnancy, but it was not we weren't preventing it either, so we knew there was a chance that it could happen. So basically up at probably 6-7 weeks, I got really sick. Probably around 7 weeks. I was just throwing up all the time, which most pregnancies, even with singletons, a lot of people do experience morning sickness. At first, that's all it kind of was. It was like throughout the night, in the morning, but then it got really bad. Probably around 10 weeks, I just could not keep anything down. I was so sick, and it wasn't just in the morning. It would drag on all throughout the day. And sorry if I trail off. Pregnancy brain is a real thing. Yeah, so I was getting really sick. It was lasting all day, and it was kind of one of those sicknesses where it felt like I was convinced I had the flu. I've never been pregnant before, and I've never experienced morning sickness, but in my head, I was like, there is no way that this is just morning sickness. I couldn't keep anything down. I had no appetite. I couldn't even keep popsicles down. When I was throwing up, it was very aggressive, and when you get the flu, I'm sure most of you know that feeling of your like stomach contracting even after you've thrown up, as if it's trying to get all of that stuff out. That's kind of how, not kind of, it was how this was going. So I was convinced, like, this cannot just be morning sickness. Like, this is torture. I remember just crying because when I would get sick, I would be profusely sweating because my body is just, working overdrive. And then a couple minutes after, I would be freezing because of the sweats. And it was, I think, probably 4 days to a week of that where I ended up going to emergency because I just knew I was getting severely dehydrated. I wasn't, like I said, able to keep even popsicles down, water. Like, it was brutal. I remember just thinking, like, I was praying, honestly, that it was the flu, because I was just like, there's no way I can, like, do this. And I know most pregnant women probably have the same thought, and it honestly is. It's awful. You feel like crap most of the day, and that's another thing. It lingered all day, so even if I wasn't getting sick, I felt like I was gonna get sick most of the day. I had zero energy because I wasn't able to eat or drink. So, you already have low energy when you're pregnant. But when you're so sick on top of it, it just makes it that much harder. And then it's like a vicious cycle, because then you start to feel mentally blah because you can't get anything done. You don't feel like yourself. So yeah, after about a week, we ended up going to emergency because I just was like, I can't keep doing this. Not to mention, I was scared for my baby because, I know I'm not getting any nutrients or anything, can barely even keep water down. So I can't imagine the state that the baby was in. And I was scared that I was going to, cause harm because of this. So when we went to emergency, it was quite a long wait because unfortunately pregnant women don't have any special treatment just because we're pregnant. But when I went in, luckily I knew I was pregnant, so that kind of like shortened the visit a little bit, but they hooked me up to fluids, like IV. They gave me sorry, mom brain. A pee cup to pee in, so they could just check to see how dehydrated I was. And then after that, they came in with a really old ultrasound machine, like one from like the Stone Age. It was terrible quality. It was tiny. It was on wheels. And basically he just was checking to make sure everything was all good. But as he was checking on the screen, he said that there was 2 sacs. And just being sick and kind of out of it, and also not really, I've never been pregnant before, and I also don't know anybody with twins, so I kind of knew what that meant, but I still was kind of like, okay. And where it was still so early on and the machine was so old, they couldn't see both babies. They could just see 2 sacs, and they were pretty sure that we were having twins. And let me tell you, it was a good thing that we were already at the hospital, because that was not something that my spouse and I were expecting to hear. We joked about it when I first got pregnant, and it was 110% a joke, nothing we actually thought was gonna happen or, was our reality, which it is. So basically, we went from being shocked, scared, anxious about being pregnant in general, and once we kind of got past that, we got hit with, you're having twins, which kind of brought all of those emotions right back into full force. It's, scary time and exciting finding out that you're having one baby, but when you find out that you're having 2, it's just like all of these extra emotions going through your head that, I don't know, I never even considered. Like, how do you, 2 babies, that sounds insane. So basically, they ended up rebooking me back at this hospital to get an actual ultrasound on one of the, proper machines. And they also had, I think they said that there was a bit of protein or something in my urine, so they wanted to retest my urine as well when I came back. So that was a few days after we left. So when I came back, it was confirmed that I was having twins and that they were di-di, which means 2 sacs, 2 placentas. So they are not identical, they are fraternal. Basically, probably for, they say in the first trimester, typically after, once you hit the second trimester, your sickness goes away and you start to come around. I was convinced they were lying because still at my 15th, 16th week, I was sick, not as sick as I was in the beginning, but I was still experiencing morning sickness, and it was mostly throughout the night. So it'd be like anywhere from like 3 o'clock in the morning to like 7 o'clock in the morning. That would be my like prime. I would wake up and just pretty much have to run to the bathroom. So I was like, oh my God, like, am I ever going to start feeling better? Around my 17th week is when I actually started to come around. So I'm 22 weeks now. Well, I'm 22 weeks tomorrow, sorry. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so 17 weeks, I started to come around. I'm 22 weeks now. I don't get sick. I got sick last night throughout the night, but it's more so I don't get sick, and then there'll be like that one random night or day that it'll just hit me out of nowhere. I'm not really sure if it has anything to do with what I'm eating or what I do that day, but I will take it because I was just like, there's no way I can go through the duration of this pregnancy and be sick the way I was. Like, I could not eat anything. Nothing appetized me. Like now, like crackers and stuff like that, please just stay away. I can't even look at it because I just like had to force feed myself these things, and then those would be the things that I would be throwing up. So yeah, the first trimester and a little bit of the beginning of the second trimester was honestly a nightmare. I literally was like saying to people, I know some people will glorify pregnancy and how beautiful it is, which it is. What our bodies can do and the fact that we're growing and creating life is beautiful. But everything that can come along with it is honest to God torture. And my spouse, like, God love him, he was amazing throughout the whole thing, constantly. Like, if I was in the bathroom, asking me if I needed water, making sure I was okay. Like, he's feeling guilty and crappy because he can't do anything except for what he was doing was be there and be supportive, and he had to just sit around and watch me be miserable. I would cry all the time because not only do you feel physically like crap, but then it takes a toll on your mental health because you can't do anything. You're laying around all the time feeling bad for yourself, essentially. And when someone you love and that loves you sees you in such misery and are so helpless, it's just, it's a terrible feeling. But he was great and still is. What else? So we went to UC Baby when I was 18 weeks, which is a privately owned 3D ultrasound place. They do like the heartbeat bears, which is like they'll record their heartbeats and then they put it inside these bears, which is an awesome keepsake because it's something that was never offered or around when we were babies. So what else? They give you the genders, which we ended up getting in an envelope because my best friend, she was meeting me at the building, well, outside of the building once our appointment was done, and she was gonna take the envelope and go sorry, my dog's playing with my cat. She was going to get the balloons to fill the confetti, so we had no idea. We just got to watch the little ones kick about and got the teddy bears, and they did a little live stream and we got some pictures, so that was awesome. Baby A did not want their picture taken. Pretty much every photo we have a baby A, their arm was covering their face. So it was probably an hour or two. It was 2 hours after our appointment. We got back home and my best friend dropped off these black balloons that had the confetti inside, which were absolutely massive. And shout out to Rochelle for being a boss and getting that done. I know it wasn't cheap or probably easy to keep it a secret because yeah, she's like me and just wants to like shout to the world. Like, I seen her reaction actually. Like we were parked in front of one another when we left the building, and when I gave her the envelope, we both got into our cars, and she was right in front of me, and I watched her open it, and I seen her reaction, and I immediately pulled away because I was convinced that her reaction meant I was having two girls, and obviously I would have been happy with either, but two girls just sounds like a handful, especially knowing how busy I was as a Dean, come here, as a baby or a toddler. So, but turns out it was two little boys, which is actually something not a single one of our family or friends thought. Everyone was convinced it was either two girls or a boy and a girl. I was convinced it was a boy and a girl. Probably a little bit of wishful thinking, just because, you know, then you have one of each, and if we wanted to, we can say we're done having kids. But yeah, we did a virtual gender reveal on Facebook Live, so it was just the two of us here, my boyfriend and I, so we could enjoy the moment together. And we also both have a lot of family that live away, so it was really nice for them to be able to watch and react with us at the same time. But yeah, we were definitely shocked that there was two little boys, but we were both really excited. So now I can definitely start to feel them move. Zena, shh, sit. My dog, she's needy. Yeah, I'm feeling them move. Last week it was more so just probably the last 2 weeks, just internal movement. You couldn't really feel anything on the outside, but I could feel like little flutters. My cat is he's chewing one of my plants. Dexter, what are you doing? Yeah, so it was just more internal, like flutters or like pops, twitches is what I like to call it. Now it's getting to where I can start to feel them a little bit on the outside. It all depends on my position, like if I'm laying on my side, because at first they were bunking and then they kind of moved side by side, and now they're bunking again. So baby A is below my belly button and baby B is above it. So depending on how I lay, I can feel kicks and stuff. Not super hard or anything yet, but I can still be like, oh yeah, there was a kick. What else? Try not to make this video too long. I had recorded one when I was like 8 weeks pregnant or 10 weeks or something like that, but I was unsure if I even was going to start posting videos. But as I'm watching, I just realized that there is quite a few videos of twin pregnancies and stuff on YouTube, but not as many as obviously singletons. So I figured, why not? If this can help someone, or you know, someone can relate or has any questions, why not just put it out there? So basically, what am I going to say? I'm feeling not sick anymore. I'm getting some lower back pain. It's kind of in my left, like above my left buttocks, my butt cheek. Like, it's not necessarily in my back, but it's not in my butt. It's kind of like in that middle section where they join. I think it's a type of sciatica that I'm feeling, because there's certain times that if I put weight on my left leg, I'll get that pain, like almost like a stabbing pain. And even if I don't put weight on it and I just move a weird way, it hurts. I tried to do a couple stretches, I think like last week, and when I bent over to do one, I almost got stuck in that position because of how just painful. Like, it almost feels like when you get that chest pain when you're breathing and it's like a stabbing pain, you're like, I can't move or can't breathe just because it hurts. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it. But then last night I was getting kind of like a weird pain in my back rib area on the left side. I think a lot of it has to do with how they're positioned, because now the sciatica isn't as bad as it was last week, but it could get bad again next week because of just where they're at. I actually had to get at 18, I think it was 18 weeks, yeah, a support band or pregnancy band belt. It goes just like below your belly, and then there's just, well, there's different ones, but this also had to strap the one across the top because there was so much pressure in my lower abdomen. That's how you say it. Yeah, I just felt like they were both just like sitting here, and it just like I just felt weighted down, and it wasn't comfortable. Now where they've moved up a bit, I don't feel it as much, so I haven't been wearing it as frequently, but I'm sure as time progresses, I will have to start wearing it again. I got one of those, it's not C or U shape, it's kind of like an L, I guess, shaped pregnancy pillow that I've been using since probably 15 weeks, just because it's easier than having to use like 3 or 4 different normal pillows. It actually has helped a lot with supporting my belly if I lay that way, and also just having something in between my knees it helps a lot. I've been finding, well, it's pretty much one of the main pregnancy symptoms I've had since the beginning is the urination. I've been peeing like crazy. That was one of the first things that I noticed when I found out I was pregnant. That was the first thing that I like noted, was like peeing, and everyone's like, oh my God, already? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like, I didn't know that there was a time span on when you're supposed to start peeing a lot, but that's one thing throughout the night. If I sleep good, I still wake up every 2 to 3 hours to go pee. It's kind of annoying, but what can you do? Apparently it doesn't get any better, so I'll take that over the throwing up. What else? We are still deciding on names. I think we both have, well, we do have 2 that we both really like, but they're not guaranteed yet. We still have to talk about it a little bit more. Yeah, so I guess now I think I went over pretty much everything to this date. Don't mind me, I'm still in my pajamas. That is one thing that I haven't found has gotten a lot better, is my energy. I still find I'm really tired most of the time, especially if I overwork myself. That's another thing too. So symptoms right now are definitely tiredness, exhaustion, and then I've been getting like rosacea around my nose and then my chin area. And typically I'm not, like, my skin is usually pretty clear. I'll get pimples here and there, period pimples, stress pimples, that kind of thing. But this redness, which looks like I'm sick all the time, and it's dry. So I have combination skin. It's oily and dry, but this is just like, you can even see on this one side of my nose, it's just like a red line. It's dry, but it's also just super red. So when I Googled it, it was telling me that I had rosacea. And so far, everything that I've used has not helped. So I'm just stuck looking like I have a cold all the time. But those are the 2 main symptoms that I have at 22 weeks. But yeah, I will show you my tummy. What I was getting at about with the tiredness is I am still in my pajamas because, yeah, I don't do a lot all day, especially with COVID. I don't go out much. I feel like I'm looking smaller and kind of feeling smaller today. But this is my belly at 22 weeks with twin boys. So baby A is kind of like down here, and then B is up here. Front, side, and it doesn't feel like it's pretty hard, but it all depends on like what I eat. When's the last time I went number 2? I've noticed that my stomach's a little bit itchy. I know that's because of the stretching, so I've been trying to use like bio oil and Palmer's oil. My dog sees something in the window and she's growling at it. But yeah, Some days I feel bigger than others. And now, to finish it off, I'm just going to quickly show you the nursery. It's not done. There's still quite a few things that need to be done. Just one second. And there's a couple of things that are being stored in here that I just haven't gotten the chance to put in the shed yet. So when you first walk in, this is a sled. So that needs to go into the shed, and as does this table that we're not using anymore. So besides those two things, everything else. So here's one crib. It's not a huge room, so we were really limited on what the layout could be. I wanted the cribs to be close together, but that just isn't an option because I don't want to have one crib right in front of the window. So, oh, and there's my boyfriend's birthday presents. So here's one crib. We're going with a safari theme. We have, so pretty much nothing's on the wall yet. Just some of the furniture set up. So one crib, we need to build a door for this with a little latch because that's the hot water tank, and obviously I do not want the kids when they get to that age to be able to get in there, but we also want to make it so it's still accessible if we need to get in there. We have the change table with some bins and stuff. Everything's not organized yet. A sweet little rockin' lion that my boyfriend's mom gave us. The second crib. Here's the heartbeat bears that I was talking about that we got. This is huge. I love it. It's an animal alphabet. And then another picture. The animal alphabet's gonna go on this wall here, and then above their cribs, I have safari pictures that will go above each one, and then their names once we actually decide. The trim in the closet still needs to be done, and right here it needs to be changed. So that's why there's these pieces of trim there. We have a basket. I got this cute little elephant. And then the closet's kind of a disaster too right now. So clothes from friends and family that have little boys that are getting rid of them. Got my breast pump, some extra bottles. They already have a ton of clothes, as you can see. And then we got, this is all gonna have to, once the room itself is finished, this will all be getting put away or put where it's supposed to go, but this is just where I'm storing it for now. Got the month stickers, camera, some sample things. Here are the pictures that will be going above their cribs. One's a giraffe, and I think one's a little lion. And then my mom also got the little handprint with their name, and their picture and stuff will go in it. Sorry, it's dark in there. I'll definitely do a better nursery tour once it's actually complete, but I just figured I would show you guys what we have going on right now. My brother-in-law is actually coming over today to finish the trim around the closet and in the closet, so that's awesome. Once that's all out of the way, I will probably start hanging pictures up and actually start kind of putting things together. I would like to get a shelf for some books. We also have a dresser that I'm not 100% sure where it's gonna go, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. I'm sorry for the long video. I know I blabbed a bit, but I just wanted to make sure I fit everything in since it has been over half my pregnancy now that I'm trying to fit into one video. But I will hopefully start doing it either, it'll probably be monthly, so once a month or once every couple weeks from here on out. I go see the doctor March 1st again, so hopefully I'll have some new news and I will keep you guys updated. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. Bye.